Hi, and welcome to Child Development 155. In these slides, we'll be going over some of the requirements and the course design for the Advanced Supervision for Early Childhood Directors course. My name is Jolie, and I will be your instructor for this class. This class will be totally online, so it will be on Canvas starting on January 29th. This is one of my passions. I really love my child development 150 and 155. They're all about administration, management, and supervision for anybody who's kind of working in the early childhood field. Myself, I've taught a wide variety of ages, all the way from infants, so 6 weeks old, all the way up until middle school, so 12, 13 years old. After receiving my master's degree, I made my way into supervision, where I've worked at a variety of different programs as directors for infant and toddler programs. I was on base where we had between 150 to 350 students ranging from different ages, at-risk state-funded programs, and then right now I'm doing part-time early intervention for children with special needs. So that's in-home therapy for children that have been identified as needing some support with delays that they might have. And I also teach this class, a 100, and then I teach another class at Cal State San Marcos as well. But that is a picture of my 3 children almost a year and a half ago, when my youngest daughter was born, and I also have 6-year-old twins. And I live with my family and my husband in Oceanside, and I've spent most of my career working in the North County area, and so I do kind of focus on the San Diego area since that's my area of expertise, and that's where many of us are living. So the way that I've set up this class is that the content is going to be primarily given to you in the form of these PowerPoints. After this week, I will generally add more pictures and videos and try to make them generally more interesting to you as I develop kind of the basis of this class and impart to you certain pertinent information about supervision and hopefully practical ways and ideas to run a really quality ECE program. In addition to the course content, I'll support that knowledge with weekly readings from the textbook, and then I also every week provide an additional reading as well. These can be policy statements, they can be articles, they can be graphs or charts that I find helpful back when I was a supervisor over preschool. We're also going to have weekly discussion boards. This is a chance for us to be a little bit more informal and share our professional experience, our wisdom, our knowledge, our perspective that we have gleaned from our years working in the classroom and then possibly outside of the classroom as well. And then as well, we will have weekly assignments worth 10 points, and then there will be a variety of other assignments that I'll have throughout the semester as well. So you'll have a weekly assignment. It's worth 10 points. And really what this is the ability for us to write as we go. So instead of me giving you this operational manual at the end that's due, and you need to have job descriptions and plans of actions and facilities maintenance reports and things like that, we're going to be writing it together as the semester goes on. So each week I'll talk about a certain part of supervision or management, and then you'll write an assignment, and then that will also give you the opportunity to get feedback from me. So if you miss the mark a little bit, I give you some feedback in order to make it better, so then when it does go into your operational manual, it's really quality, and it's hopefully something that you're going to want to use professionally. We'll also have a quiz on fiscal management. We'll have a group project, and I have already put that for our second week. So next week we will go over the group project in detail. You'll have a final written essay exam at the end of the course as well. So those are your course requirements. If this seems overwhelming to you, there are very specific written instructions for the exam, the group projects, the quiz, the operational manual in the very first module on Canvas, and it will stay there the duration of the class. So the syllabus, instructions, anything that you need in order to fulfill these course requirements will always be on Canvas in that very first module. So I've talked a little bit about the weekly assignments, but they are worth 10 points. There's no makeup. So I will not accept it late, so you will just lose those 10 points unless you give me prior notice. You know something's coming up, you're going to have a surgery, you have to go see your grandma, something like that, or you can prove that there's an emergency. If those things are provided, then we can discuss over email ways that you can make up the assignment. It's always a good idea when going to school to save everything after you turn it in. Canvas can shut down, it might not go through. It's just always a really good idea to save in any place, on Dropbox, in Google Docs, in a folder on your computer. Save your work as it do go. First of all, it's going to be part of your operational manual, and it's always a good practice to save all work, especially when you're doing some kind of online class. So I've talked about this a little bit, but our operational manual is a chance for us to have a body of work that goes over the operations of the center that you might be running. So we're going to be writing a lot of these as every week goes by. So I will be giving you some experience of mine, some information as far as course content, and then we'll be writing an assignment together. So for example, it might be a job description for a janitor or something like that. Plus, we're going to be just developing this resource reference tool that's really to help you kind of handle situations and have a place for information that you would need when you are running an ECE program out in the community. Like I said before, there will always be written instructions for any kind of course requirement that I give to you, and they will always be on Canvas in that very first module, and it will be due on April 22nd. I will also have a video coming out where I'll go over a little bit more of these things as well. I want to go over the group project assignment briefly. Once you go onto Canvas, you will notice that you have been automatically sorted into a group. I have 4 group topics that we're going to be talking about, all different kinds of personnel or organizational management, so that you guys will have a chance to delve deeper over the next 15 weeks, working with your group so that at the very end you can present to us some of the findings that you found. So you'll be automatically sorted into a group. So when you log on to Canvas, on the left-hand side, there's a bunch of different options like collaborate or grades or settings. You're going to go to the people section, and from there it will have a tab at the top that talks about group projects. That will tell you which group project you're into, and from there I have a video welcoming you to your group and going over the requirements that you will have. There's also a welcome announcement from me, so I'm going to tell you specifically your area of focus. So if you're talking about organizational management, what are some of the areas that you can cover? You don't have to choose the areas that I've talked to you about, but I'm just kind of giving you a starting off point for things that you can discuss with your group about areas of focus that you might want to take. You could also talk about areas of industry different than child development. So when you're talking about organizational management or personnel management, you might want to look in different areas other than child development and then apply it to our child development field. So that also might be a direction that you want to go into. But how I have the grading, and I have course requirements written out for you already. It's called a group project, and it's in the very first module on Canvas. And it's also will be in your group projects as well, but you get 25 points for what you actually present. So at the end of the semester, either through a video or through a PowerPoint, what are you presenting to the class online? And then you also get 25 for each of you individually writing a group overview. So each of you is going to take the time to write an overview of what you learned, what you think you could do better, how you can apply this to your life. So that in a very quick nutshell is your group project, but you'll spend more time online in your actual group homepage, looking at the requirements, watching the videos, reading the written instructions in order to get a better sense of what you are doing as far as a group. Also, some of our group discussion boards will be full class, so everybody will be participating, and then some weeks we won't have a full class one. We'll just have group ones where I'll pop in and I'll ask questions, and I'll make sure that you guys are kind of focused and heading towards what you need to be heading for. So as I mentioned in the last slide, some weeks will be an all-class discussion where it will be in our module for that week, and we'll talk as a group about a contemporary issue or something that we learned about in course content. Other weeks it will be a group project discussion. So the second week of class, I will be starting a discussion board for each of the groups talking about some student learning outcomes that you'll have for your projects. So at the end, when you're presenting, what do you want your fellow students to learn from your presentation? But when we are doing the discussion boards,
both in our group project discussions and in our all-class discussions, the biggest thing is that we're really thoughtful. So I'd like to hear about you, what you're doing professionally, what you know personally about children, and about working as an administrator or a supervisor or a teacher of an early childhood program. So this is our chance to speak more informally about the course content. So just please stay on topic and be thoughtful when doing that, and just use grammar and punctuation to help you deliver your message more effectively so that you can be a better communicator. It's really important with working with families and then with staff as well. So this is a chance for you to practice very effectively communicating your message to other people. Also be courteous. So emotional tone is really hard to convey online. Sometimes when people are sarcastic or flippant, it doesn't come off well because you don't see the emotional intent on a person's face because it's online. So I don't know that you're I don't know that you're smiling. I don't know that you're frowning, those types of things. I just see the words that you have. So go ahead and just kind of think about what you're saying and question the use of humor, or just be really sure that you use a lot of emojis or kidding or things like that. Because it's a comfortable place where we can all share. So I need people to be courteous and polite.
So there'll be one quiz halfway through the class, and that'll be on fiscal management, and it'll be worth 20 points, and it'll be true, false, and multiple choice questions. You'll have as long as you want in order to do it, and it'll be worth 20 points. And then at the end of the class, I'll have a final exam, and this is an XA exam. 1 week before will be a review of the questions, so you'll have seen all the questions before, and then the last week will actually be 6 days of taking the exam. Most of the class, everything is due on a Sunday, but in order for me to get grades in, and the semester actually ends on a Saturday in May, so I need to have it in by Saturday, so please remember this. People always kind of forget. They're just so used to Sunday, 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 they kind of forget. So just mark on your calendar right now that it's due on Saturday, so that I can go ahead and grade and give you grades so that you can get transcripts, so you can get permits if you need them, or you can have a job or whatever it is. So in order for me to submit grades in a timely manner, I need to have this final exam done on the last day of class. So Palomar has a lot of different services, and something that you might want to take part in here at Palomar and for this class is probably our writing center. So APA is going to be less of a concern. You're not writing a research paper for me. You're not going to be in the library, hunting down texts on Vygotsky or Piaget or something like that. But grammar, syntax, organization, and just general writing abilities still really matter in this class. And out professionally, your ability to convey in written form policies and procedures, both for your staff and for your families, is going to be very, very important professionally. If this is something that you're struggling with, please use our Writing Center services. We have tutors. They're available for one-on-one or walk-in basis. They are here to help you. You've already paid this. You've paid a lot of money to come to Palomar. Use the free services that are available to you. If you've taken a class with me before, you know that I have a little bit of a soapbox about this. I attended Miracosta for my some of my child development and some of my general education requirements before I transferred to a four-year university. Writing is not really an issue of mine, but math and science are really, really difficult for me, and I needed to take math and science in order to transfer. So I really struggled for a couple of semesters before, I kind of grew up and I went to the tutoring department and I got that help from those tutors. I was embarrassed at first. I thought that they would judge me for my, algebra ability or see me as stupid because I didn't quite understand how FOIL worked. The tutors don't care. They literally do not care what your entering level is. All they want you to do is to get better, to achieve the goal that you have in your class, and to learn something. That's all they care about. They don't care about where you start. They want to get you to your goal. So if writing is an issue for you, or you feel that's something you need to polish, please use the services that Palomar has. So I do want to touch on APA style and plagiarism. So within our child development department, we use APA. So if you are quoting somebody, and it doesn't matter, it could be in our written in our weekly assignments, it can be in a PowerPoint that you're going to give to us as part of your group project, it can be in anything that you are writing for this class. If you are quoting somebody or you're taking somebody's work, you need to use APA style. Please use your own work. If you have done anything on Palomar or anything on Canvas, you know that I have a automatic plagiarism setting. So anything that comes in, I get a report, and you'll get a report typically saying how much percentage of this comes from another source. Sometimes in this class, you're using a template that I've already created, so it's going to have a very high percentage in that case, and I know that because I've created and I've given it to you and you've written a little bit of information. So in that case, I don't care, and the percentage that I have coming back from the plagiarism is less of a concern. But if I've given you something that you needed to create totally on your own and it comes back as having a high plagiarism percentage point, then I'm going to have a conversation with you. And if it does continue, then I have to follow Palomar policy, which is on our syllabus, which is that it has to be reported. So if you have any more questions about plagiarism, please see my syllabus where I have kind of a detailed guide about what plagiarism is, what I have to do if it happens. So I did want to touch on kind of two things about this course content before we go too farther. So this is a supervision class, and my previous class in the fall that I teach 150 is an administration and management class. So I am going to source to licensing code when it's appropriate. But the focus of this class is developing a quality program that meets many types of requirements. State requirements, federal requirements, NIAC requirements, all those types of things. So that's really our focus, is being on great supervisors that run great programs. So if you need specific information about a licensing regulation, I'm happy to help, but this class is less about licensing and more about running a quality program that's going to meet licensing requirements just by nature of being a quality program, and we're really focusing on that supervision aspect. If you do have specific information that you need to talk to your analyst, and for a lot of us, I'm recording this a couple weeks beforehand, and for a lot of us, the analyst has changed. We are now in Riverside. So finding out who that person is and having a conversation with them. You can also take the 150 class if you have a lot of really specific questions about licensing, or you've been hit multiple times and you want to hone your body of knowledge, or you need to read the regulation. So piggybacking off that last slide, so this class does have a different kind of flavor than 150. 150, as the title suggests, is more concerned with administration and management of a quality program. And this course, the 155, is more supervision and leadership focused. So what do you need, and what do you need to run a really quality program from a supervision and leadership focus? If you do have specific questions, I have a YouTube channel. So all of these course content are coming at you from a YouTube channel. So I have that. So if something seems really unfamiliar with you, like for example, discussing hiring and firing, maybe I'm talking about something and you're like, what is a protected class? What does she keep talking about? I don't even understand what that means. You might want to watch one of my 150 YouTube videos a little bit more about that background. So I'm not trying to stump you. I'm not trying to give you acronyms that you're unfamiliar with or put out vocabulary words that you don't know. If something seems a little bit unusually unfamiliar to you and I just keep talking about it like it's common knowledge, trying to watch my 150 YouTube videos and then having a conversation with me will be the best way to go. I'm more than happy to talk with you by email or Canvas messaging at any time, but it might, if it's a course content question and it seems like I might have already answered it, looking at my YouTube channel is probably. So what's the best way to contact me? The best way is through email. So I will email you twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays, and I will give you course information. I'll let you know about requirements that are coming up or assignments that need to be completed, and maybe remind you about certain things or let you know about community events that will be of interest to you in this field. Or you can message me on Canvas. On the left-hand side of Canvas, there's a little toolbar, and it's for messaging. That message that you send me on Canvas is just going to go to my email. That's how I'm going to respond to you. But email and Canvas are going to be the best ways to do it. I check my emails Monday through Friday daily. I teach 2 other classes here at Palomar and another one at Cal State, and then I have another job where a couple hours a week I work with children with special needs, providing in-home therapy. So I'm not always at my desk. I'm not always looking at my email, but I do. It's a matter of fact. I always check my email Monday through Friday, and you will always have an answer within 24 business hours. Typically much sooner than that, but always within 24 hours I will try to respond to your email. I am online sporadically on Sunday, so your assignments are due on a Sunday night, but I am not up till midnight checking emails and looking at what people are doing on campus. So if you know that you are having technology glitches earlier in the week, Canvas is being buggy, you don't understand how to use it, the app doesn't work, your computer is on the fritz, you're going to need to take care of that Monday through Friday when information services at Palomar can help you with your email, can help you, or academic technology who can help you with the Canvas stuff can help you as well. I can troubleshoot and I can have you send assignments to me by email and things like that, but I am not a tech person. So if you are going to need support, you're going to need to do that Monday through Friday when Palomar is available. And if you know that you're having issues, you're probably not going to go out and wait until Sunday night when I may or may not be available by email in order to help you. So I'm always going to be available by email, and I do my best to get back to you as promptly as possible. But please email me or shoot me a message on Canvas in order to communicate.